Clay soil, the bane of many a gardener's existence. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be a constant battle? Fellow gardeners, I've been there, staring at that rock-hard, impenetrable earth that seems to mock every planting attempt. The good news? Clay soil can be transformed from your garden's greatest enemy into its most valuable asset. This comprehensive guide will arm you with 5 proven techniques that will have you growing anything your heart desires, even in the most stubborn clay. Before we dive into the solutions, let's understand what we're working with. Clay soil is composed of incredibly tiny particles that pack together like a puzzle with no missing pieces. This creates a dense, compact structure that water and air struggle to penetrate. When wet, clay becomes a sticky, waterlogged mess that suffocates plant roots. When dry, it hardens into something resembling concrete, making it nearly impossible for roots to expand and establish. The irony is that clay soil is often rich in nutrients. Those tiny particles are excellent at holding on to minerals and organic matter. The problem isn't what's in the soil, it's how tightly it's packed. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to create space within that dense structure while preserving those valuable nutrients. Your clay soil rescue mission begins with a simple soil test. This isn't just about checking pH levels, though that's important. You need to understand your soil's specific nutrient profile and structure. Purchase a comprehensive soil test kit, or send a sample to your local extension office. This baseline assessment will reveal not only your soil's pH, but also its nutrient content, organic matter percentage, and specific recommendations for improvement. The most transformative thing you can do for clay soil is flood it with organic matter. This isn't just a one-time fix. It's an ongoing relationship that will pay dividends for years to come. Compost, well-rotted manure, leaf mold, and aged bark chips are your primary weapons in this battle. Start by working in at least 2 to 3 inches of quality compost across your planting area. Now, don't just scratch it into the surface. You want to incorporate it into the top 6 to 8 inches of soil. The organic matter acts like tiny sponges, creating air pockets and improving drainage, while simultaneously feeding beneficial microorganisms that will continue breaking down clay particles naturally. The key is consistency. Plan to add organic matter every season, treating it as an investment in your garden's future. Over time, you'll notice the soil becoming easier to work, better draining, and more responsive to your plant's needs. Gypsum is often called the clay soil miracle worker, and for good reason. This naturally occurring mineral works by providing calcium and sulfur while helping to break apart clay particles through a process called flocculation. Unlike lime, which raises pH, gypsum is pH neutral, making it safe for most plants and soil conditions. Apply gypsum in fall or early spring at a rate of about 20 to 30 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Work it into the top few inches of soil along with your organic matter. The magic happens slowly. Gypsum needs time to work its way through the soil profile and create lasting structural changes. Don't expect overnight miracles with gypsum, but do expect steady, reliable improvement. Many gardeners see the best results when they combine gypsum with organic matter and proper aeration techniques. Aeration is about creating highways for air and water to move through your clay soil. The broad fork is your best friend here. This tool allows you to loosen compacted soil without destroying its natural structure the way excessive tilling can. Work your broad fork into the soil every 12 to 18 inches, rocking it back and forth to create fissures without turning the soil over. This technique preserves the beneficial soil organisms and mycorrhizal networks that are essential for long-term soil health. The goal is to create vertical channels that allow water to penetrate and roots to explore. For severely compacted areas, consider double digging, a labor-intensive but highly effective technique. Remove the top 12 inches of soil, then loosen the subsoil with your broad fork before replacing the topsoil mixed with organic amendments. This creates a deep, well-aerated root zone that plants will thrive in. Avoid working clay soil when it's too wet or too dry. The soil should crumble slightly in your hand but not be muddy or dusty. Working wet clay creates impermeable clods that are harder to break up later, while working bone-dry clay can create a powder that actually compacts more easily. Cover crops are like having a team of underground engineers working around the clock to improve your soil structure. These plants, also known as green manure, send roots deep into clay soil, creating natural drainage channels while adding organic matter when they decompose. Crimson clover, winter rye, and buckwheat are fantastic choices for improving clay soil. Their roots release natural compounds that help break down clay particles, and their above-ground growth can be turned into the soil to add organic matter. The key is to turn them under before they set seed, typically when they're about 1/4 flowered. The beauty of cover crops is that they're working even when you're not. They're protecting your soil from erosion, feeding beneficial microorganisms, and gradually transforming your clay into a more manageable growing medium. So, clay soil's relationship with water is, honestly, pretty complicated. It tends to hold on to way too much water when it's wet, but then it becomes almost impermeable once it dries out. Smart water management and strategic mulching can really help you find that sweet spot where your plants actually thrive. It's always a good idea to install drainage solutions before you actually need them. Things like French drains, raised beds, or even just creating gentle slopes can go a long way in preventing the kind of waterlogging that, well, kills plants in clay soil. Even raising your beds just 4 to 6 inches can make a dramatic difference in drainage and root health. Mulching is, honestly, perhaps the most underestimated tool in clay soil management. A 3 to 4 inch layer of organic mulch, like wood chips, straw, or shredded leaves, does a lot. It moderates soil temperature, reduces evaporation, and gradually adds organic matter as it breaks down. More importantly, it stops that concrete-like crust from forming, which is really what makes clay soil so tough to work with. The mulch layer also prevents compaction from rain and foot traffic, while creating an ideal environment for earthworms and beneficial microorganisms. These soil inhabitants are your allies in the long-term transformation of clay soil, gradually mixing organic matter throughout the soil profile and creating stable aggregates. Transforming clay soil isn't a weekend project, it's a journey that really rewards patience and persistence. Start with a soil test to understand your baseline, then begin incorporating organic matter and gypsum while implementing strategic aeration techniques. Plant cover crops during your garden's off-season and, maintain consistent mulching practices. Remember, clay soil that's been properly amended often becomes some of the most productive garden soil you'll ever work with. Those tiny particles that seem so problematic are actually excellent at holding nutrients and moisture, once you create the structure for roots to access them. Your clay soil rescue mission starts now. With these 5 proven techniques, you'll be amazed at what you can grow in what once seemed like impossible conditions. The garden of your dreams is waiting beneath that challenging clay. It just needs the right approach to unlock its potential. If this guide has helped you see your clay soil in a new light, I'd love to hear about your transformation journey in the comments below. Share your before and after photos, tell us which technique worked best for your situation, and let fellow gardeners know about any creative solutions you've discovered along the way. Don't forget to subscribe to Smart Garden for more practical, no-nonsense gardening advice that actually works. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest tips and techniques for creating the garden you've always wanted. And if you found this clay soil rescue guide valuable, please share it with other gardeners who might be struggling with the same challenges. Together, we can help every gardener unlock their soil's true potential and grow anything their heart desires. Your garden transformation starts with better soil, and better soil starts with the knowledge you now have. Let's grow together.